World Rugby confirms doping sanctions for 6 Georgian players and 1 coach following 2023 RWC investigation. World Rugby has confirmed that 6 Georgian players and 1 member of the national team's coaching staff have been found in breach of anti-doping regulations, stemming from violations prior to the 2023 Men's Rugby World Cup in France. The announcement has sent shockwaves through Georgian rugby, with the global governing body emphasizing its commitment to clean sport. According to an official statement, the violations were part of an orchestrated scheme involving recreational drugs and sample substitution, practices explicitly prohibited under both the World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) code and World Rugby's anti-doping rules. Of the 7 individuals sanctioned, reports from Rugby Pass indicate that 5 are currently in the process of appealing the decisions. Investigation background: the investigation was initiated after irregularities were detected in urine samples collected from Georgian players, flagged through World Rugby's Athlete Passport Management Program. This monitoring system tracks biological markers over time to identify anomalies that may suggest doping, including the use of performance-enhancing or recreational substances and attempts at sample tampering. Once anomalies were detected, World Rugby immediately involved WADA, triggering a joint and complex investigation. The inquiry involved targeted testing of current and historical samples, including DNA analysis to ensure authenticity, as well as a review of long-term sample storage. The investigation has been described as extensive and parallel, highlighting the depth and rigor required to uncover the full scope of the violations. A World Rugby spokesperson said 6 players and a member of team support personnel have been charged and sanctioned in relation to an orchestrated scheme involving recreational drugs and sample substitution, a practice prohibited by the WADA code and the World Rugby anti-doping rules. The statement emphasized that while the disciplinary process is ongoing, the global governing body takes anti-doping matters extremely seriously, maintaining a firm stance against breaches of the sport's integrity. Details of the sanctions: World Rugby confirmed that the 7 individuals have been sanctioned, though specific details regarding the length of suspensions or exact penalties have not yet been made public due to ongoing appeals and the formal results management process. The organization reiterated that no further comment can be made until the full disciplinary proceedings conclude, in accordance with anti-doping rules. Despite the lack of publicly available details, the case represents a serious breach of trust within Georgian rugby, raising concerns about the sport's internal culture and the oversight of anti-doping measures at the national level. WADA and Operation Obsidian: the sanctions follow the findings of Operation Obsidian, WADA's targeted investigation into Georgian sport. The operation has revealed systemic flaws in the Georgian Anti-Doping Agency (GADA), which prompted WADA to raise concerns with the government of Georgia about the integrity of the country's anti-doping programs. Witold Bańka, WADA president, commented, "What has been happening in Georgian rugby is outrageous and will send shockwaves through Georgian sport and government, as well as the global game of rugby. This is not the end of the story. Further investigations are now examining broader issues in Georgian sport, and wholesale changes must be made by the relevant authorities." Bańka praised the independent WADA intelligence and investigations team for their meticulous work and highlighted the importance of collaboration between WADA and World Rugby in achieving these outcomes. Implications for Georgian rugby: the news is particularly significant as Georgia has been considered a rising force in international rugby, known for its powerful forwards and competitive performances in the Rugby Europe Championship and World Cup tournaments. The sanctions not only affect the current squad but also have potential repercussions for future player selections and the credibility of the national program. The use of recreational drugs and sample substitution points to an organized effort that goes beyond individual lapses in judgment, suggesting structural issues within team management and oversight. Analysts have speculated that this could lead to stricter internal controls, increased WADA testing, and enhanced governance reforms within GADA. The appeals process also complicates the immediate picture for Georgian rugby. While 5 of the 7 sanctioned individuals contest the findings, the process could take months, delaying clarity on squad availability for international fixtures and potentially affecting Georgia's preparation for future Rugby World Cup cycles. Historical context: doping cases in rugby, while relatively rare compared to other professional sports, have previously eroded trust in international competitions. Past incidents involving substitution of samples, masking agents, and recreational substances have led to severe sanctions, highlighting the sport's zero-tolerance approach. For Georgia, which has historically positioned itself as one of Europe's emerging rugby nations outside the Six Nations, this case represents a significant reputational challenge. The national team has long been celebrated for its discipline, forward dominance, and commitment to physical preparation, and the revelations risk undermining those achievements. Reactions from rugby officials. World Rugby has remained tight-lipped on further specifics, but emphasized that the federation is fully aligned with WADA in promoting clean and fair competition. A spokesperson stated, "World Rugby is an unwavering champion of clean sport. We will continue to work with WADA to ensure that anti-doping measures are rigorously enforced and that the integrity of rugby is maintained." WADA's intervention, coupled with the findings from Operation Obsidian, signals a broader oversight challenge in Georgian sport. There is now increasing pressure on the government of Georgia to restructure GADA, ensure proper testing protocols, and restore confidence in its anti-doping programs. Player and public response. While official responses from the sanctioned players and coaching staff have not yet been released, social media and rugby forums have been buzzing with speculation and concern. Fans and commentators alike have expressed shock that such an organized scheme could occur within a national team, emphasizing the importance of transparency and accountability. Broader lessons for rugby. This case serves as a reminder to all rugby unions about the importance of rigorous anti-doping education, monitoring, and governance. As the sport continues to grow globally, the need to protect players, maintain fairness, and uphold the spirit of rugby becomes increasingly critical. For World Rugby, this investigation underscores the effectiveness of its athlete passport management program in detecting irregularities even after significant time has passed. By combining modern testing techniques, long-term sample storage, and DNA analysis, the sport can ensure that attempts to circumvent doping controls are thoroughly investigated. Next steps. With ongoing appeals and further investigations into Georgian sport, several outcomes are possible. 1. Upheld sanctions. The 7 individuals may serve bans that impact international eligibility. 2. Appeals leading to reduced sanctions. If procedural errors are identified, suspensions could be shortened. 3. Structural reforms in Georgian rugby, changes to GADA, enhanced testing protocols, and governance reforms. 4. Broader implications for international rugby, increased vigilance across smaller rugby unions to prevent similar orchestrated schemes. World Rugby and WADA have stressed that while this is a major disciplinary development, it also presents an opportunity to strengthen the integrity of the sport, ensure accountability, and protect future generations of rugby players. Conclusion. The sanctioning of 6 Georgian players and 1 coach represents a critical moment in international rugby governance. While the individuals involved face disciplinary action, the investigation highlights the importance of clean sport, effective oversight, and cross-agency cooperation. As further details emerge from ongoing appeals and investigations, the rugby community will be watching closely to see how Georgia responds, both in terms of player discipline and wider anti-doping reforms. For now, the case serves as a stark warning to all national teams that attempts to manipulate doping controls will be met with rigorous investigation, global scrutiny, and serious consequences. This incident also reinforces the role of WADA and World Rugby as guardians of the sport, ensuring that rugby maintains its integrity and continues to develop in a fair and competitive environment.